Hello and welcome again to the 26 Toolbox. Let's have a look at riv nuts and installation. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to fit a riv nut with a tool and without a tool. We're going to have a tool review and we're also going to cover these wonderful rubber riv nuts. There's definitely a time and a place for riv nuts, one of those being the Defender front light guard. And if you're interested, Paddocks do a range of accessories for Land Rovers. Access their website from the link below. I have quite a collection of riv nuts that I use on a regular basis, and there's quite a few available on the market, different sizes and different threads. This one here is a hollow wall screw anchor, which you can actually fit, it's 6mm. We have also a riv stud, which is fantastic if you have the tool for it. Unluckily I don't have the fitting. And steel inserts. You need a tool like this to pull these through, as the material is actually quite strong. What we're going to do today is use a aluminium metric threaded riv nut. Firstly, what I'm going to do is make sure that I have the right size, and I'm using vernier calipers. For this M8 fitting I'm going to need an 11mm drill hole. It's always great to have a set of drills. Unfortunately this only goes up to 10mm. Luckily I do have an 11mm drill bit. I'm sure I don't have to tell you how to drill a hole. However, on the this piece is just a test piece to show you for demonstration purposes. The aim here is to get a clean hole with no burrs either side. Obviously in a blind hole you can't remove the burr, but it would be good practice if you can do. And I have the right drill bit, and you need to have a nice tight fit for this to fit into. It doesn't need to be sloppy. I have here a nut and a bolt, and this is a terrible technique. I don't know how people get away with it, but they do sometimes, is to use a nut and bolt to pull the riv nut up. Problem I'm having here is as I'm turning it, it's actually turning the riv nut, which is no good. What you're looking for when actually installing them is to have it bulge underneath there, and if it moves it won't. Now I've actually managed to do this. This is not a brilliant way, but once it's fixed you can see that will pull it up, and because the thread isn't through, it's actually damaging it, is twisting at this point. This is a bad technique. Alright, what I do, and this is quite awkward because you need 3 hands for this, is just slightly bulge it. Just slightly bulge it so it will fit in the hole better. It will grip, and that can be turned through. As you see here, the thread is all the way through the riv nut, therefore it's not going to distort the threads as it's been pulled up, and I can now pull this through. It's quite an awkward technique, but you can see here that it's actually working. This would be great if you're only using 1 or 2 and you don't need to buy a tool to install these. A better alternative to using a nut and bolt is the Memphis Tool. Now this is a very good tool for doing a repetitive job. You can either use your hand on this, or you could use a spanner to pull this up, and you can see that the riv nut is bulging up properly. This one happens to be an M6. Okay, so let's get a little bit intimate with this tool. Now this is supplied by Make Ends Meet, or Memphis. Details on the screen here. Firstly, there's a washer that goes in there, and that's quite important. You also have a thrust bearing, if you like, which will relieve some of the pressure. There'll be no metal cut, and you need a washer to encapsulate it. I'll drop a little bit of oil in there. And you also have a ferrule. That's important to retain this together. The drive screw is then dropped into place, and this is driven by the spindle here, which is fitted in this manner and screwed down. Just as a note, it's worth holding it in this position while you're assembling it, because if you drop it down this way you'll see that the ferrule actually gets in the way, and you'll need to screw your handle into there. The handle won't screw all the way down and it will cause damage otherwise. I'll show you. Look, handle screwed into place. Now this will actually retain all the components on the inside of the body there. Okay, the last bit is to have the nose piece fitted. Okay, this is a plated nose and it's hardened apparently, so you're ready to go. These tools will do a variety of riv nuts from M4 to M10, and it's the kits that you can change on this. They're driven here by the spindle, so they lock into place like this actually in the tool itself. So you have a variety of fittings that you can use. There's also UNC, UNF and metric. Alright, easy changeover. Website has quite a variety of installation kit fittings, and with this one I've got two, which is the most common I use, is M6 and M8, and it's a very good tool, nicely made, and this goes well in my toolbox along with my other Riveter tools. The only flaw I could find with this tool is on occasion the drive spindle comes out. There's a snap ring that I found in the body, and it's supposed to be fitted on in this groove which retains the threaded part here, so no big deal. That's popped back on, and away we go. Memphis have improved this tool, and with their new design this fault has been rectified. Let's see what the updated version is like. However, I'm only going to give this one a 4.5 spanner rating, but otherwise this is a fantastic and really handy tool. There is another set that is possible to use, and we'll cover this later. This is a combination Riveter and rivet tool. There will be a tutorial coming up on this. Finally, rubber rivnuts. Now these are absolutely brilliant. You don't need any tools for these, you just need a drill of the right size and your fittings. Okay, they look like this. These are used for electrical installations or into plastic. You need a larger drill bit for these, as they take up quite a space. However, installation is easy. There is a limitation on thickness of material, which you can find out from their website, or it's stamped on the packets. However, with this one, it's a matter of just putting your fitting in. I'm demoing this here, and I'm just using a nut and a bolt. However, you'd screw a bolt straight in, and it acts as a riv nut. The thing here is also an insulator. You can fit things